Hey, this is Zedmot, otherwise known as Zed or Z or Zmot, whatever you'd like to call me. Doesn't really matter. There's a bit of a misunderstanding there. People didn't realize that I was Canadian, and the Canadians talk funny, apparently. So, today's attack, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to hit Centaur, then hopefully talk some crab, and we'll go from there. So, looking at Centaur, on the right-hand side, we're going to try and do split boats, take the shield generators. On the right-hand side of this Centaur, there are no extra boom cannons, so there's actually a bit of a hole. Let's delete that. There's a bit of a hole in behind them where nothing reaches. So if I can get one boat of Zookas back in there, I should be able to clean out the shield generators without losing many troops, and I should be able to free up some boats to clean up the left-hand side as well. Typically we'll send 3 or 4 boats to the right and 3 or 4 boats to the left, depending on what needs to be done. We've got low-level mines, level 20, so I can at least run over one of them without too much concern. So the left-hand side, we've got the mortars covering, so it's going to take a bit more gunboat energy and a few more Zookas to clean it up. I should be able to use critters to keep the mortars off, though. And then, assuming that all goes well, I should be able to spare some gunboat energy to clean up the mines and set up, or boom mines I should say, and set up a kill area for the core so that we can hit it with likely 3 shocks, 2 for the rocket launchers and mortars and 1 for the flamethrower. We're doing dead deep cut today, I should say, so things have a little bit more health. We've got 1.3 million there and a 5.4 million shield, so the shield definitely needs to go down first, and then hopefully I can clear up a bit of the shore so that we can save some gunboat energy to get up to the core. So here we go. Let's get some boost going. I'm not gonna boost all the way. I'm gonna boost most of my statues, though. I want to get up to about 140 gunboat energy. I want to get up to about 100, just over 100 troop damage. So what I tend to do is I tend to boost and then I just hit an NPC and just to see how much gunboat energy I have. I then so let's drop a Zooka, let's retreat. And then, so I've got 147 gunboat energy. That's more than I was hoping for. That's good. Now let's just check how much troop damage I have. Now, I should know this, but I've got 3 accounts. So okay, so we got 98. So let's boost one more. Let's go up to 110. Like I said, I just can't. I've got 3 accounts, and I always forget what half boost is and full boost on each of the accounts. So and this way, at least, because of this silly delay on the statues, I find that just attacking an NPC is way easier that way. I can actually verify that I have a boost, and I do it every time. That way I know that I have a good boost on, and the boost is actually taken. Okay, so let's go here. Let's barrage the mines. Now attacking and talking is a bit difficult, so please bear with me. Let's drop our flare. Drop our first boat. No need to side flare or side drop or do anything fancy. Just drop them and get them moving. Let's do some gap smokes here. Boom cannons don't shoot terribly quickly, so we can have a nice big gap. And as I say that, I make a gap that's too small. Okay, let's get... Okay, so no one's shooting at us. That's always a good sign. So the first 2 shield generators should go down without problem. Once the second one goes down here, I'm going to drop critters just to distract these boom cannons. I don't have many troops left, or I don't have many troops to start with, I should say. So let's drop these critters here. So just to keep the boom cannons from looking at us, they'll be shooting at the critters. We've got 7 boom cannons, or 6 boom cannons shooting, 7 boom cannons shooting at the critters, but they tend to pick the same target, so they've already shot 3 times and we still have critters left, which doesn't make a lot of sense mathematically. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Okay, so job 1 down. on to job number 2. So now we're going to flare into here in the corner. Always love to do corner flares. We'll drop a smoke quickly. Carrying on with our gap smokes. Let's do... Okay. Yeah, one more time, apologies. I'm not terribly good at talking and attacking at the same time yet. I don't have a lot of practice at this, so I'll hopefully get better. If you have any tips, please let me know. Let's not let that flare expire. So far, so good. Let's drop our critters and our shocks. And the mortars are shooting over the critters. It was clearly late. This has not started very well. Let's do one more shock. And let's drop one more critter here. Okay, 3 out of 4 down, and my critters were late. That is not a good thing. Okay, so we've only got 30 gunboat energy left. I got 10 per smoke, so I can't even get back in there. So I guess it's gonna have to be a resort to cleaning up the shore now, I suppose. Drop and shock, and I missed the shock. Things are going downhill in a hurry here. Thankfully I didn't miss the mortar. Let's hopefully get these 2 defenses at least. Now we'll let the ladies spread out here. Thankfully the mortars shoot behind them. Okay, so at least we cleared the shore. We got 2 out of 3 jobs done. That's a bit of a mess behind me, which will be a pain in the... Let's just drop some artilleries on here. Didn't even damage them at all, it seems like. Okay, so that was a failure, because now it's going to take likely 2 or 3 more attacks. Let's apologize to the team. Now, I'm going to switch accounts, and I'll hit it with my other account, because I should probably clean up my own mess, so... And we're back. So, I switched to my other account now. Let's move that microphone. I'm going to diamond some Zookas here. I had 1 boat of heavies loaded. So, looking at Centaur, I've figured out that we've got it most... Okay, so let's have a look here. The shield generator is 64,800 or 900 health, basically. And my Zookas do in the neighborhood of 1,076 per shot, unboosted plus boost, obviously. So that actually works out to be over 65,000. So what I had a look at the previous attack. Let's have a quick look here. I'll try and skip as much as we can. Here's the good part. Things start out fairly alright. Shield generator number 1 goes down, number 2 goes down, critters come in. Rocket launcher turns and sees me. Let's get into the rough part of things. Okay, let's slow things down a little bit. So, if you watch, in the time that it takes the mortars to travel, there's actually... So let's have a look here. So the critters are down. So now, in the time that it takes them to shoot, 1, 2... The ladies look like they can do 2 volleys in the time it takes for the mortar shots to arrive. So my theory is that I can basically clear the shield generators without using any gunboat energy. No shock, no critters. Worst case, I can always just use barrage. If I only get 1 shot in, I can just use barrage and artillery to clear them. But my thinking is that even if I get one shot in, it'll be good enough that I can then just use artillery and barrage to clean it up. If I get both, then if they get 2 rounds in, it should go down. So I'm going to do a full boost. Now, I've recently switched out one of my gunboat energy statues for PSC, so I'm a little bit low. I'm a little bit lower on gunboat energy than normal. Sorry, I'm not used to saying gunboat energy instead of GBE. It's a little bit strange using acronyms. So, still new to this. I'll figure it out. It's the same thing. I like to drop a troop. I'll give Dave a free to defend here. Got 163 gunboat energy. I've got hopefully all of my ladies damage boosted. Let's just double check. Yeah, so we got 142%. So that's full boost. I didn't boost my PSC, but that's not a big deal. Let's just double check. Yeah, 163. Okay, so back to Centaur we go. I don't know if you can read that note fast enough, but I'm hoping to clean up my mess here. So we're going to get into the corner like we did before, using nice gap smokes, hopefully. Sniper tower will be in range of the corner, most likely, but it will, even if it leaves us with, even if it takes 1 or 2, we should still have enough damage. And then hopefully I'll move up into the kill area and hit core and do what I can to take some damage off so that the next attacker doesn't have to boost so big. There's nothing worse than leaving someone with a big mess. Or making them boost more, I should say. So now let's drop our smoke first. Drop the Zuka right at the top so that they walk into the smoke and gather a bit. Now let's flare in the corner. Try and gap our smokes a bit better than last time. Okay, so we still got 13. Let's drop our next smoke. Not hitting boom mine is good. We still got 13. Okay, so we're into the corner. And they're turning towards the shield generator. That's good. A little bit concerned they turn towards the mortar. Okay, we lost one. And the shield generator went down, and we've still got... Okay, still got a... There we go. There goes our last Zuka. Now let's drop our ladies at the shore. Not going to use a flare just to try and save a little bit of gunboat energy. Now let them group at the flag, bring them up a bit. Drop our smoke. Okay, we lost at least one to the boom cannon there, but we're doing well to save some gunboat energy. Let's flare. Okay. So I think we've lost one, maybe two. We're in good shape so far. Need to tighten up our smokes a little bit. We got peaked there. Drop our last two at the same time. This is going to be a bit rushed because the last smoke will be... Okay, let's drop our critters. Shock. I hate that four-way shock. I always miss it. Okay. Shock. Health pack. Okay, this went pretty darn well. Okay, big sigh of relief there. So the next attacker should be able to take it down with a pretty small boost, so I didn't end up screwing the task force on that one. Should have gone down in 2, but at least now we've got an easy finish for somebody. Now let's watch the replay here. Okay, so everything went perfectly here. Shield generator went down. Okay, so sniper took one. Yeah, so the sniper, we had basically 25 shooting at it because we got 2 shots in, so. And then decent, sure, no flare drop, let them hit the flag, came up, dropped our smoke a little bit late maybe, but losing one's totally fine. And came up, managed to avoid the boom mines gap smoke. It's a bit of a gap there in the smoke, but with critters it wasn't all terribly bad. Okay, let's go half speed so I can actually think here. Now, so we're coming in. I like to drop the last 2 smokes because I just don't know how they behave under smoke since the change. Dropped critters early because I had been peaked. Dropped my flare so that they wouldn't spread early. Shocked them 2 mortars and the rocket launcher. got that last 4-way shock in late. I always miss those, so I'm terribly slow. That's why I like to use critters early. Got one more shock in on the flamethrower. And overall, yeah, that went better than I could have expected. So yeah, I'm very happy with that attack finally. Okay, let's switch back to my other account, which is likely full boats now, and then we will have some time to clear my map and hopefully talk some crab. Okay, let's go ahead and switch here. We're back on Omi, and now I'm going to, okay, my boats are full, that's good. Let's get an attack. Actually, let's boost our Power Stone statue first. So I'm going to clear my map a bit here. I'm going to clear Dr. Terror. And then let's try and talk some crab. So I've got a couple notes here I'm going to try and go over. I basically on Reddit there's a crab guide that I've helped create. I'm just going to try and read some of the notes off of it just for people who don't necessarily visit Reddit. So, hey, well, Dr. Terror the Vampire. So they've gone Halloween themed. Anyone who's out there who doesn't know if they're going to have crab or not, you have to be headquarters level 7. You have to beat Hammerman level 10. So if you're anywhere close, you should rush your headquarters to level 7. Crab is a huge resource pig. You can get so many resources and upgrade so much stuff. So if you can unlock crab, you definitely should. It's not difficult. You can beat the first, I think, like 6 or 7 levels of crab just by using critters, if it's anything like it has been in the last couple rounds. One thing to be aware of, though, is do not boost your Power Stone statue. It doesn't do anything for crab. By all means, boost your resource reward, but do not boost your Power Stone statue. Another thing to be aware of is do not sit at 8 out of 8 attacks. If you always want to be gaining attacks, even if that means just using barrage, artillery, or just attacking and then retreating. You don't necessarily have to waste troops, but don't sit at 8 out of 8 attacks. Okay, so I've been too busy talking, not busy enough looking at what the heck I'm doing. Probably not going to even beat it this time. Yeah, do not, make sure that you're using your attacks. And the same thing, don't go to bed with 7 out of 8 attacks if you plan on sleeping for 12 hours. You need to get your attacks coming back. You want to wake up with 7 out of 8 attacks or 6 out of 8 attacks. By all means, use them, even if it's just using gunboat energy on buildings. Weaken the level you're on so that when you wake up, you can continue your upgrades and get more resources from crab. Okay, so let's try this one more time, see if I can beat stage 4 here. One of the things that's actually Supercell released today was there's going to be flying critters. The only reason I can think of flying critters would be useful is if there were walls or fences, which Supercell also announced last week that there's going to be barbed wire in the higher level. Okay, I've failed twice at stage 4 now. Let's take a quick break here. Yeah, so Supercell has said that last week there's going to be barbed wire in higher level operations. It makes sense to me that they would add barbed wire to the crab, not necessarily the early levels, but to the higher levels. Let players figure out what barbed wire is all about, get some experience with it, and if critters had wings, obviously they could fly over the barbed wire fences. The idea of being able to actually try barbed wire in an environment where it doesn't matter if you lose troops. Some of the teams that are doing massive attack, if they get thrown barbed wire live, they're gonna lose, and losing is going to affect their leaderboard status, and it's going to piss people off. So I'm really hoping that they take advantage of crab and throw barbed wire in, because I'd rather be pissed off that I can't beat a level of crab than if our task force lost points. It doesn't really apply to us. We're not doing massive attack at the moment. It got too stressful, but for other teams out there that are, it'd be nice if they could at least get an idea of how the barbed wire fence works before it goes live in their operations. So one of the things to be aware of for the lower level players is that cryo bombs are incredibly useful, but they blow up after the level has been beaten. So if you're standing close to them and you beat the level without losing any troops, the cryo bombs can still wipe out all your troops, and you learn that pretty quickly when you're low level, because there are a lot of cryo bombs, and you don't necessarily have the gunboat energy to explode them all. So you need to be fairly strategic about where you stand. If you can't take out the cryo bombs, try and stay away from them. So let's just smoke into here. Carrying on. Now with this size boost, Dr. Terror, I don't really have to plan at all. I can just drop my troops in. It's the same shape every time. It's the same general attack every time, especially on Tropical here. So I can just drop my troops in, drop enough critters that nothing looks at them, and get by without many losses. So probably not the best attacks to copy, because I'm not putting a lot of thought into this, but we're trying to talk crab, and I'm trying to talk and play and think at the same time, and I can generally only do one of those things at a time. So okay, let's clean up some mines here. I don't know if I've said this before, but I overuse barrage so badly, so don't copy me when it comes to using barrage or gunboat energy. I use way too many barrages, but with a big boost, I get a bit sloppy, I guess, and I tend to boost fairly big for the most part. So let's smoke in behind here. One of the things that to be aware of for crab is that crab is not like player versus player. It's not like hammer. It's not like Dr. Terror. Retreat, there's no downside in retreating. A lot of players are going to boost big for crab, and a lot of players don't necessarily want to spend diamonds or have diamonds to spend. So the easiest way to get around that is just attack and then retreat. Take it down piece by piece, just like I like to do with War Factory. Take some off, retreat. That way you're not waiting for a good chunk of your boost for your troops to reload. Just take it down piece by piece. Even if you're just using gunboat energy, you've got enough attacks. So let's go into stage 7. So one of the things I like to do for stage that I don't show very often is I like to actually test out how much gunboat energy I'm going to have. So I don't actually scout or do math. I just like to drop artillery and barrage on defenses, clear the mines, and then what I'll do is I'll just simulate the attack. Essentially, I'll drop my smokes. So we're going to do 2 smoke drop every time on Tropical, basically, and then I will smoke back into here. I'll cut good coverage smoke there, and then I'll do a little bit thinner smokes, last 2 at the same time probably, and then I'll flare the headquarters, and then I've got 90 gunboat energy. 85 is 5 shocks, so I'll probably use 4 instead, so I can use a couple critters. So let's probably use 2 critters right in, where are we going to put them? Right in here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I've got enough for a health pack afterwards. So, and the thing is, you can do this without losing any troops. So I'll likely have at least 4 gunboat energy left over. The core should go down just based on my size of my boost. I'll redo my artilleries or barrages if I have to. The thing is, you can retreat as many times as you want. It doesn't matter. No one says you have to take it down in your first attempt. I mean, it sucks to lose troops on it, but it's worth just trying it out. And like, I used too many artillery last time, so I'll try and use 2 barrage this time. And let's artillery, another artillery to clear some mines. Now let's drop our troops this time. And like I said, you can always, as long as your smoke covers the left edge there, you can do this drop every time. It's a little bit more difficult, and same thing if you make it cover the right edge, if you're going from the right-hand side. But you can do a 2 smoke drop every time, and you don't need to use flares. You can get all your troops up to into the area without having to use too much gunboat energy. Critter, shock. Let's drop some more health packs. I also way overuse health packs. I use 3 there instead of a forced shock. But, yeah, with my boost, this boost, you can be as sloppy as you want. It doesn't really matter. So I lost 3 troops there. There's some more Vampire Dr. Terror. Before they announced that he was going to be a vampire, I've already made up a crab screenshot or thumbnail for YouTube, but one of the things that we were thinking that he was going to do for crab, one of the sneak peeks that we saw that wasn't announced anywhere, is they actually had a different machine gun on the back conveyor here. I don't know if it was a different level or if we just haven't noticed it before, but let's see if we can have a machine gun pop out here. Mortar. And the previous times that Crab had come out, they had put the sneak peeks back here. So there was the speed serum and the cryo bombs. So we were thinking that the fact that a random weird looking machine gun came out might have been a spoiler, but they're not going to show it to us. Either so either wasn't supposed to be there, or I'm just not going to be patient enough to, oh good, another mortar. I'm just not going to be patient enough to wait for it. So maybe they'll release a new level of machine gun. That's purely speculation on my part. Let's see if we can get... No conveyor belts on there. It was on Titan, but I don't know if it depends on the level or if it was just a coincidence, but carrying on. So we've talked about Crab a little bit. Ranged statues are a little bit wonky on Crab. Let's do an easy NPC here. So statues on Crab, troop health is a little bit more useful. So my Zmod account doesn't have troop health, so it'll be at a bit of a disadvantage. I'm not excited enough about Crab to change my statues up just for Crab. So I'll be using likely Zukas. Even my Scorchers at least are max level, so without troop health I can use Skuka or Scorcher Zuka or whatever you want to call it, and usually clear pretty well. I'm not going to be using a ton of diamonds or a ton of powder. Crab isn't really my thing. I'm not going to be on the leaderboards. I think last time I was like level 37 and got to... Sorry, my account was level 37 and I got to like level 25 on Crab or something like that. Nothing terribly exciting. So let's get into a player versus player attack, or... Oh, that's funny. We've got an okay and an are you okay? The Michael Jackson song coming back into my head here for some reason. So let's start with okay, and then we'll come back and see are you okay. So at this VP we have 800 VP, so this guy's doesn't have any defensive statues, which is always helpful. Corner bases, I love corner bases. Basically, I don't understand why anyone would do a corner base. I'm assuming it's useful against tank medic or Scorcher tank. It doesn't make sense to me. Corner bases are the easiest thing in the world for me to attack, and I can do it in my sleep essentially, because I've done so many attacks with Zukas on corner bases. And a bunch of the guys in our task force have actually spent a lot of time figuring out how they walk along the edge and what makes things change, and we've got a pretty good handle on corner bases here. And because this account has troop health, I can hit. If I happen to hit that mine, I shouldn't hit that mine by the sniper tower there, but if I happen to hit it, it's not a big deal because I've got a troop health statue on this account. So not so much on my Zmod account though, because all it takes is one mine to lose all your troops, which gets a bit frustrating at times. But the extra damage is worth it, so let's smoke up the side here. Not going to get nice in the corner. And one thing that I don't know how many people pay attention to or not, but smokes, I believe, are 4.2 squares in width. So when you're looking at these boxes, defenses that are all 3 squares, knowing the fact that they're 4.2 makes it so that you can judge. I mean, even if you just think of them as 4, it's slightly bigger than the average defense size. So when you're trying to make your smokes as tight and close as you can, just think about them as being 4, so that there's 3, just go slightly more and you're good to go, and your smokes will be connected well with, and you don't need any overlap on the side. So it always helps the corner bases when you realize just how to space out your smokes. Okay, let's go up top and see, are you okay? Where did you go? There you are. Again, no down. He's boosted. It's always fun taking out someone who's boosted. Okay, so let's clean up boom mines. Oh, so he did have something hidden there. But Weapons Factory is good at hiding mines. I don't know why people put their buildings together. The fact that I can spend 1 artillery to get 12 gunboat energy is just helpful to me. I don't know why anyone would ever do that. My buildings are always spaced well apart. I guess he'd rather have me attack his storages than his buildings, but it doesn't make sense if you're going to give me gunboat energy for free, essentially. Okay, so he's got no hidden mines. I might as well take out this machine gun. I probably should have used a barrage there, but... Okay, so we're down to 71 gunboat energy, so I'm going to try and do something a little bit silly here. Let's do a 4 drop. Or a 5 boat drop. That was a mistake. I'm going to lose some ladies there. So, again, just like my Centaur attack, by doing a 4 or less boats, you can save some. There's no side flare needed. There's no 2 smokes needed. It's much easier. I saved at least 1 smoke and at least 1 flare by doing that. So I should get back in here. Thankfully, I have troop health, or this attack would have been over. So I like to drop my health pack late in the smoke timer, just that way at least that it's still healing when the attack's going on, when the ladies jump out of the smoke. That flamethrower's hitting me hard, but the health pack's keeping them alive. And so Are You Okay goes down with 5 boats. It should have been 4, but I fat fingered it pretty hard. Oh, Sweet a Crystal. Always a bonus. I'm going to try and blame that on Power Stone chance. So now let's grab my supply chest and call it a night. I have no idea what to say to start my attacks or end my attacks, or my commentary is still weak, so please like, share, subscribe, hit me up in the comments, let me know what you think. I'm going to sign out. I'll leave you with one more attack. I'll crank up this game volume a bit here, and hopefully have another video for you soon. Zed out.
Bye.